In this video, I want to talk about why I think Greta Thunberg is a puppet for the left. It's obviously she's being coached by her parents and many other adults to speak on the environment. Her speeches are obviously written by adults, and these are not really, and she's being schooled by her parents and many others in public speaking. She's become somewhat of an expert in it as a public speaker. So she's doing her public speaking on climate change, and with the coaching she's receiving from her parents, she's getting really well schooled in it. Now, she's not the only child that's being used by the climate change activists. They're also using hordes of other children, to bring them into the protest rallies and saying, and trying to make the message more about that it's the children's future that's at stake here. And we adults better do something about it to get the politicians to do something about it. The climate change movement, as far as I'm concerned, has no platform. I really don't know exactly what their aim is or what their really stand is. I do know one thing: it's not about environmental issues. Rather, one of the things they want is a ban on red meat, and all I could say is good luck with that. It's an integral part of everyone's diet worldwide, not just here in America. Nobody wants to give up their cheeseburgers. Nobody's going to give up their steaks. Or we put meat in burritos and countless other, in tacos, burritos, and countless other dishes, and it goes in ingredients. So I don't think red meat will ever be banned. So I don't think they'll ever have success in that. Will they have success in banning straws? Yeah, they can get some. They might be able to convince some stupid politician in some city or town somewhere to ban straws. Or we'll have to find another way to drink many of these drinks without straws. They also have a push for population control. I don't know how they want to go about doing that. Maybe they could pass out condoms or something like that to try to control the population. Maybe that's how they're thinking of doing it. I have no idea. They ban offshore drilling. Yeah, they'll get some support about that. Every multimillionaire or billionaire that owns a multi-million-dollar mansion on a beach would be happy to support a climate change movement that wants to ban offshore drilling. I mean, who wants to look at if you own a multi-million-dollar mansion, would you like to look out your window and see an offshore drilling rig? No. So I'm sure those folks will support the climate change movement, and with big donations and money. I mean, after all, they got to protect their investment somehow. And now the worldwide protests has become a national pastime of late, and in this country it's become a huge national pastime, and it's become a worldwide pastime in many other countries like the Philippines, Europe, and many other places in the world. It's in Canada. There's been in climate change protests. What it is their parents or women get out with hordes of children, are taken to these protests, and they listen to a bunch of speeches by Greta Thunberg and many of these other climate change activists, and like I said, it's just a rah event. All right, now the climate change movement is not about the environment. It's not about solar energy. It's not about wind energy. It's not about the electric cars that are being produced or the electric trucks that are being produced. And by the way, Amazon has ordered 100,000 of these electric tractor trailers that are being produced by Rivian. That's not part of the climate change movement. That's the part of the environmental movement, and the climate change movement is about controlling Mother Nature. Like like any politician could have control over Mother Nature. Climate change is about a warming trend, and the Earth moves through cycles of cooling trends and warming trends, and basically, there are climate change scientists who study this climate change, and as far as I'm concerned, they're the only ones that could basically inform politicians of any policies that they could take in maybe controlling or how to deal with the effects of climate change. But that's about it. I know the polar bears and other animals are being affected by the warming trend that's being undergone. And yes, we can control greenhouse gases, but that's not part of the climate change movement. That's part of the environmental movement. So the climate change, you'll never hear the climate change mention greenhouse gases. And that's why you don't hear about it with the climate change movement. Although there is something curious. The Democrats in the climate change forum on CNN mentioned they want nuclear energy reactors built that use thorium. I don't know how this is definitely not environmental. This is part of climate change. Nuclear energy or nuclear reactors are even with thorium, are far more dangerous than a natural gas-fired plant. And can you really argue that a nuclear power plant is cleaner than using solar energy or wind energy? I don't think so. Anyway, this is all I have for you in this video, folks. Peace out.